Hello there, world of tankers. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, I'll be playing in the ultimate YOLO tank. I know a lot of people consider the YOLO wagon or the Foch to be the YOLOing vehicles, but really, I think the IS-7 will and has always been the ultimate beast of frontline. This tank has armor, hit points, mobility, and now with tungsten, it's also got alpha. This vehicle really just shrugs off bullets, and it doesn't care. Now, that's not to say the IS-7 is unstoppable, but I can tell you that it will get a lot further than most other heavies in terms of being an aggressive beast. Even the Type 71 can't really push as hard as an IS-7. The difference is that the IS-7 still has that alpha advantage, 460 versus 420, and this tank also has tungsten, so you can roll over 515 with your tungsten. And then this tank's faster. It achieves a top speed of 40 kilometers per hour, and it's got a slightly better power to weight. So when you pair all of those things together, it allows the IS-7 to just be a super aggressive beast. Now, we did shoot at that Yo. Unfortunately, our shot did not end up penetrating, but that's fine. We're going to cross over here. I wonder, we should be able to hit that Yo. I'm actually going to activate my tungsten. There you go. 525. A great example of the alpha damage this vehicle does have right there. I don't know what that Yo is doing, to be honest, but I'm going to aim in on their turret again, and boom. Look at that. 523. Two shots over 1,050 health off of that player. Now, I do see that our team is being flanked, and I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play this smart, because I can see where our team is and isn't. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push over here. I'm going to get behind the Sheridan, just like this, and I'm going to push into them, and they're going to have the U-100, and they're going to be boxed in, is the ideal play here. This is exactly what you want to do with the IS-7. You want to put the enemy in an awkward spot, and that's what we're doing here. Because if we push this Kampfpanzer, now this player is in an awkward spot. They have to kind of make a YOLO. There you go, right into the U-100 they go. They're out of the game. Let's see if that 60 tries crossing. Indeed they do. There you go. Low roll, but still end up penetrating the shell, and we still have the mouse and an E100, so definitely an awkward game that unfolded here, but one that is still 100% in my favor. There you go, a nice 480 damage shell into the 60, and he ends up missing that player. I'm going to send the Sheridan, and let's see. I see the Sheridan is making an aggressive YOLO. Non-penning high explosive, that sucks. Well, at this point, I gotta back up, because it's getting pretty gnarly here. Let's load in a high explosive on the 60, get a clear into that player. And Sheridan, oh, they're all bouncing. We're still alive. We still have the TVP left as well, which is obviously pretty important. Let's back up and aim it on the Sheridan. Let's see what the Sheridan's big brain plan is. Is he right there? I can't even tell if he is. That's so sad. Huh. Okay, well, the mouse does get the clear, and as much as I'd love to shoot the Kron, there you go, I was going to say our teammate's kind of in the way. Sheridan gets another bounce on the mouse. Come on, mouse, shoot the Sheridan. I was going to say, if you did, that would be a good play. But with the Kron screwing up here, let's get another shell into the Kron. Sheridan is still doing whatever the Sheridan's doing, and I'm going to push in at this point, because even if that Sheridan does try to kill the mouse, I don't really care about that player. Got another nice shot into the Kron. That brings the Kron down to a one-shot. We back into cover here. They're going to have a hard time pushing me. A very hard time pushing me. We're going to get a shot into the Sheridan, because now that player is a one-shot. Kron bounces me, because this thing's got the goofiest armor in tier 10. The Sheridan is now a one-shot, and oh, that's what I thought, Mr. Sheridan. I'll just wait. I don't really need to do much, because you're dead. And that just leaves me with the Kron. And the Kron doesn't even know what to do at this point. This is exactly how you play the IS-7, though. We took advantage of every situation, and we're going to aim it on the side and get an easy 430 damage clear, giving our victory a very meaningful impact. Yeah, that was an interesting battle. Those mediums flanked, and I guess it worked, because did we have any tank destroyers? I didn't even look. We did 5,800 damage. We absolutely farmed it at everything to our disposal. Yeah, we really didn't have any tank destroyers because we did have a minnow, but it's a frontline tank, and because of that, I guess the enemy mediums decided that they were just going to YOLO right into our spawn, being the Kampfpanzer, 47%, and the Sheridan. The problem with that play is that they forgot I existed, and I'm not just going to let two mediums farm my team. So I turned around. I knew that the E100 was turning around as well, so with the E100 pushing their front and me pushing their back, it completely boxed in those mediums. Well, a little bit of a queuing later, and we are in another game. Let's see what we can do here. Up against us, two IS-7s, VZ-55. Oof, that's definitely a bit of a cringe lineup. The IS-7's one downside is that it doesn't have gun depression. And, yeah, on a map like Dead Rail, which is arguably one of the worst maps in the game to drive a heavy on, when you don't have gun depression, it's a real stinker. There are counters, and the biggest counter is to go towards base A, but then you got to worry about tank destroyers. Thankfully, they don't really have many tank destroyers, and they don't have a 183 or anything cringe like that, so I'm going to move right on up. I'm going to put on my tungsten and not be able to hit the lower plate of the BZ due to the gun depression. Yeah, gun depression is a big killer of the IS-7, but you know, it isn't the fact that I've got tungsten and adrenaline allowing me to rip off over 1,000 health from that BZ in, you know, just such a short amount of time. Unfortunately, the IS-4's armor is acting utterly useless right now. But again, remember, I don't really have a turret weak spot, so I can just kind of sit here, shoot the VZ in the turret, and there's not much they can do to me. I mean, that's what just allows the IS-7 to be so dominant, is the armor. So if you overpoke, you can shoot me, but then you have awful reverse speed, and I can just shoot you right back. So either way, you're going to bleed your health. This IS-4 definitely needs to stop being super duper aggressive, though. Alright, well, the VZ is going to overpoke, and I'm going to get a shell into that player, and there you go, our IS-4 gets the pen. Now I'm going to move up and angle my hull towards the BZ. You can see exactly what I'm doing here. This BZ has no clue what he's doing. We're aiming on his lower plate. There you go, nice 430. However, my teammate dies, so I now need to back up, and, I mean, we're still completely fine, as you can see. And I'm hoping that I can pen this BZ right in the turret. Let's aim in, and boom. There you go, 250. However, we now have the 268 YOLOing over, which is an entirely different problem. 268 shoots, however, gets penned back, so not a great play from that player. Get a nice pen into the IS-7, damage that player's ammo rack. Oh, we have another IS-7 on my rear. Not loving this situation that I'm stuck in right now, but what we can do is put on our tungsten, get a nice 521, which makes that player a one-shot, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to angle my, I was going to say over-angle my sides and pen that guy, but I don't even need to. We have the enemy IS-7 right here, which I'm going to bounce. Gotta love RNG. That was a really cringe shot, but it's also because my BZ kind of went into an awkward angle there. Alright, but we're going to aim it on the rear of the IS-7. There you go, nice 476. BZ ends up penning the shell. And at this point, this guy is obviously cooked. However, our team is not doing very good. Let's load in a premium shell to guarantee the pen. And now, I have to try and take the 268 out of the game. Thankfully, I'm low enough down that the 268 can't really spot me right now. There's the enemy 268. Aiming, boom. 414. But this is not good. We are probably not going to win this, realistically. T100 LTs on the flank, and what I'm hoping is that that T100 is going to allow me to get the clear. That was actually a very, very important clear. I'm going to ignore the Progetto, and I'm going to push the Object 268, because that player needs to go. There you go, important clear. And now, the Progetto is going to be pushed, and that is where I'm going to move up and try and take this Prog out of the game. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Gonna move. There you go, nice shot, penetrating the Progetto. Gonna keep going, and let's see, get A. Yeah, I don't think getting A is going to help our team. WZ bouncing the shell on the Progetto, though, does not help either, because that allows the Progetto to still be alive right now. I'm going to put on tungsten, load in high explosive, roll 704, and the Progetto is cooked. There you go. So even this game was such a great example of the IS-7, right? I mean, this should have been a loss, and yet the enemy team still threw. They looked at the wrong target. I should have been the person they cleared. A turretless tank destroyer is not a threat. What is a threat is a turreted heavy tank farming your mediums, farming your tank destroyers. That 268 should have focused me, should have ignored the 113 GFT, and I should have been the first target to die. But there you go. 7,000 damage, a 4-kill victory, and our second ace. The IS-7 is a beast, and it really is one of the best all-round heavies in the game. I will never really say anything negative about the tank, because Wargaming did the one thing that I wanted them to, which was buff the premium pen. I don't know why they refused to buff the 5A's premium pen, but at least this tank has really, really good pen. So 2 back-to-back battles that were absolutely insane. 2 aces. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you want to see more content like this, you know what to do, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!